From the KBVR TV studio on the campus of Oregon State University, this is the Beaver Sports Show.
Welcome back, Beaver Nation, to another episode of the Beaver Sports Show. And once again, it was another great weekend for the Beaver baseball team as they got another series win over the Washington State Cougars, which improved their record to 29-8.
That's right, Boone, and the women's softball team was in Eugene this past weekend to battle the Ducks in the first Civil War series of the season. Alongside me, as always, is Rick Stella, and I'm Boone Kruger. After the big series sweep over the Stanford Cardinal, the Beavers wanted to keep the momentum rolling as the lowly Washington State Cougars came to Corvallis for the Easter weekend. James Nygren got the start for the Beavers as OSU continued their winning ways. With more on last Thursday's game, here's Sports Show reporter Shelby Anderson.
Number 3 ranked Oregon State opened their weekend series Thursday night against the Washington State Cougars. After scoring in the first inning, the Beavers were quiet most of the game. But thanks to a great 8-inning outing by pitcher James Nygren, the Beavers didn't need much offense. The Cougars tied it up 1-1 in the fourth, but the Beavers came back in the seventh, scoring 3 more runs. Parker Berberett and Brian Stamps led the team with 2 hits apiece in the 4-2 win over the Cougars. This was the team's 10th consecutive win, which was the longest active winning streak in the nation. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Shelby. Looking to secure yet another Pac-10 series win Friday, the Beavers hope to jump on the Washington State pitching early. However, the Cougars had a huge first inning against OSU ace Sam Gaviglio, and the Beavers were left playing catch-up most of the night. That's not to say the ending wasn't spectacular for the home team. Sports Show reporter Molly Smith has more.
After winning Thursday's game against Washington State 4-2, the Beavers looked to get the series win on Friday night at Goss Stadium with their ace Sam Gaviglio taking the mound. The third-ranked Beavers, who had won 10 straight games going into the game, got off to a rocky start as the Cougars scored 4 runs in the first inning, highlighted by Jason Monda hitting a 2-run home run which went off the right field fence. Oregon State was able to answer in the bottom of the first inning with 1 run and then again in the bottom of the third, but much more of the action was to come. Going to the bottom of the 6th, down 4-2, OSU's Dylan Jones brought in the first run with a swinging bunt that scored Danny Hayes, and then the next batter, Ryan Dunn, sacrificed fly to left field, which tied the game at 4-4. Washington State was able to regain the lead in the top of the 7th with 2 runs off of Gaviglio when WSU's Cody Bartlett tripled. That lead didn't last long, though, as OSU's Ryan Dunn and Tyler Smith both drove in runs to tie the game again at 6-6. The game would then remain tied until the bottom of the 9th when Danny Hayes singled up the middle, bringing in Jared Norris, which gave the Beavers a 7-6 victory and improved their winning streak to 11 games. Ryan Dunn talked about the rough start and the win.
Sammy got off to a rough start in the first inning. Gave up 4. That's unlike him. But with this club, we're always going to battle back, and that's exactly what we did. It was just a great team win for us.
After the game, Oregon State head coach Pat Casey commented on the late inning comebacks that OSU has become accustomed to and the composure of the team.
Well, there's a part of excitement, and there's a part of composure, and there's a part of confidence, just the whole thing. Baseball's a tough game. You're not going to win them all. And, if you hit a ball, that ball that went up the middle, Danny hit it good. It could have went right to second baseman. And so, the ball's bouncing our way.
Danny Hayes talked about the atmosphere at Goss and the win.
Loud. It was getting loud when we were coming back towards the end of the game out there. And, I didn't really hear the crowd at the end of the game because I absolutely got just tackled hard. It did not feel good, but, the win feels great.
Reporting from Goss Stadium for the Beaver Sports Show, this is Molly Smith. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Molly. Having already clinched the series after the first 2 games against the Cougars, the Beavers went into Saturday's game wanting to get the sweep, which would have been their 3rd in a row. Unfortunately, the Cougars' James Wise picked up his 4th win of the year, snapping Oregon State's 11-game winning streak. Wise pitched a gem of a game, throwing 7 2/3 innings, only giving up 3 hits while striking out 4 batters. With more on Saturday's game, here's Sports Show reporter Joel Adler.
The Oregon State Beavers faced the Washington State Cougars for the third time Saturday afternoon in front of 3,041 fans in Gross Stadium, their season's best. Having won the previous 2 games against the Cougars, the Beavers attempted to increase their 11-game winning streak. Josh Osage managed to pitch a total of 8 strikeouts for the Bees, but the Cougars fought back with 8 hits. In the 3rd inning, Derek Jones hit a single through the right side to score Washington State's first run of the game. In a controversial call, the Cougars scored again in the 6th when Jay Ponciano reached first on an infield single to Calvin Keyes at 3rd, just ahead of the throw. Down 0-2 in the 9th, the Beavers fought strong, but they hit into a double play that ruined all hopes of a comeback. The game ended with Oregon State losing 0-2. With a record of 29-8 overall and 10-2 in league play, Oregon State still leads in the Pac-10 race by half a game,